Good afternoon. I'm waiting for excuse me, I'm waiting for David to get in here, so see see if he hops on. Give him a minute. So today we're going to talk a little bit about I don't even remember what I put in the description. Uh things not being so black and white, talking about me earlier today, playing some chess with my kid, and I beat him pretty good the first time, but he got me after that, so let's not talk about that. But anyways, like I said, just waiting for David to get on. So let's see if yeah, so anyways. Oh, my phone just told me I'm live now. All right, so what David and I were going to talk about essentially was um how things how things really like progress from from being black and white to the gray areas. So I've been seeing a lot of people like being very definitive on how they feel about something and being certain with how they feel, but certainty as in if it's black and white, if it's this, it's this, if it's that, it's that. There's no other way. So let me see David's. Oh, let's see. And looks like we got him on. Can you hear
Howdy,
me?
y'all. I can hear
All
you.
right,
Can you hear
cool.
me?
I certainly can hear you. So I was silent for about a minute, and I just stood here, and people got to look at my beautiful face for a little bit, and then
I'm sure they're blessed.
and then I went on a little bit talking about the black and white and how people are. They seem so definitive with it being this or that. Like it's if
Oh,
it's this, it's this. If it's that, it's that. Like there's no
not
gray
Michael
area.
Jackson.
No,
Not
not
Michael
my.
Jackson.
All right. So, but anyways, earlier, yeah, that's just a little bit about what we were going to talk about. So, what have you been up to today, David?
My usual kind of routine of intending not to do very much and then end up doing everything. It's
Oh,
it's the day off when you get all the phone calls. Nobody's talked to you for ages.
so you effectively did nothing.
Pretty much. I was no. I was actually in the end too busy to get around to doing nothing.
Ah,
Um,
okay. All right. Yeah.
I worked on my
Nice.
chess set a little bit, some carving a.
Do you want to show some of those to the camera?
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
you
is
want
a
to
Chinese inspired lantern. Um, got some over here. I don't know if y'all can make that out. Maybe better I'll just hold it up like this. This is my owl. I'm very proud of because it actually looks
Yeah,
like an owl.
that's hella dope. Yeah, and then the wood grain of that owl makes makes it gives it the shape of the owl a little bit.
Yeah, the
It's pretty
wing.
dope.
Yeah, and I got a couple of little lighthouses.
Yeah.
Little lighthouses. Another
Cool.
one. But yeah,
Yeah. So
so it's been
yeah,
playing around with woods.
awesome, awesome. So yeah, you guys stay tuned to that stuff. So anyways, you wanted to talk about black and white a little bit. Give me what was on your mind about it.
Yeah, so a couple of years back, I had a back and forth with an acquaintance over the issues, over whether issues can be black or white, and they were saying that my view of things was too black and white. For me, it was either this or it wasn't this, or it was that. And they were saying that I need to consider more the gray between things, the gray area, the subtleties, the nuances, the intricacies of certain things.
Right.
Um, so yeah, and at the time I was dead against it. Because for me, the reason I took that stance was morally you can't be for something and against it at the same time. You have
It
to
either
decide.
is or it isn't, right? It is
Right.
or it isn't.
That's right. So for morally, however, that I guess the morality of it bled over into other things. In now having had a few years to think about it, yeah, situations are not always black and white. There's always certain factors and things you have to consider, and the whole emotional intelligence thing plays into that too. Do you just say no, that's a bad person and they're bad, or do you say, well, yeah, they do bad things, they possibly need help to get better? you know it's
Yeah,
like,
well, I think the idea is like, so if it's black and white, then people are held accountable and punished for the things that they do wrong, right? But if it's
yeah,
not black and white, you have to consider like what are the circumstances that involve this, right? What created this environment that this situation is what resulted, right? You have to
right,
consider more things. But if
right,
it's black and white, you don't have to consider those things. It is or it isn't. It's
right,
illegal or it's not illegal. You should
right.
have or you shouldn't have,
Yeah,
right?
reminds
And
me.
it's there's no nuance there.
Right,
Nuance is necessary. But
of
if you
course.
look at it black and white, there's no nuance. And listen, you can guide your life that way, as simple as yes or no, and it is or it isn't, and you'll be
Mhm.
all right, I guess. I don't know. I think that you might have some friction along the way. Actually, I think that that would result in an unwanted life. Honestly, it'd be miserable for
Yeah,
me, anyhow. For
very
me, I'm not
constrained.
saying for other people, but for me, that sounds. Eh. Well, I used to view things black and white. It is or it isn't. But that's also
Right,
because,
right,
I didn't want to deal with like the reality of me being a shitty person either.
right. And then there's the other
So,
thing of doing things by the book. I've been told that a lot of times, that I'm too by the book at work or wherever. And yeah, I admit to it. It's true. There's certain comfort in doing it by the book, because if things go wrong, well, you did it by the book. There was
well,
no like improvisation that influenced it.
it depends on the level of authority that you have. If you're just a supervisor or something like that, your job is to feed the shit to the soldiers. You know what I mean? Like that's just the reality of it. You're not to do anything but hand the information down.
Right.
Right. So, but if I don't know. If there's no nuance in it, then there's really, you're going to come to some roadblocks, some real moral issues with some people
Mhm.
that you really care about if you have that view. And,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really have
Well,
much more to say about that.
Well, I would say the whole wanting things to be black or white, that's causing all this social friction right now. Both sides are doing it for their own thing. It's this, and
Yeah.
it can't possibly be anything else, and completely disagree. So, you know,
Well, yeah. Well, I guess the reality is like, so I guess we talked about this a little bit on the last live stream about the UBI or the raised wages. We
right?
talked about it a little bit like that. But like the if you're thinking that it's all bad or it's all good, right? You're both wrong. Like
Hmm.
it's not the holy grail, but it's also not like Satan himself putting down this is it. Like there's some nuance there. There are some things that are valuable, but there are some things that are straight trash.
Hmm.
Um, but you know what? Sometimes in the political scope of things, you got to accept some of the trash, and
Hmm.
that's unfortunate. That's just the way the politics seem to work. But, anyways, so David, do you got anything else that you want to plug or whatever? I'm gonna probably call this here pretty quick. Maybe we'll get on later, have something a little bit longer, have a little more discussion about something. But I want to do promote. You guys should. I put in the comments a link to where you can go check out episode number 40, and it
Hmm.
takes you to a splash page. This is on YouTube and Facebook, and if you don't see the comments, go to the original post on the Driftwood Podcast or on YouTube on the Driftwood Podcast. Also go subscribe on YouTube, but also the link is there, and you can click on that. It takes you to a splash page so that you can listen to our actual podcast. These live streams are just an addition to. The
Hmm.
podcast is what we put the effort into, the thing that we put the things together for, so on and so forth. So we hope to keep doing some more of these live streams. I've set up something to try and see if we can have something available for all you guys that keep asking how you want to help. So hopefully we can get that taken care of pretty soon. But yeah, until then, check out the latest episode. We'll have another one recorded and released by Monday, and you guys can check that out. Have we decided what that's about yet, or are we just gonna wing it again?
I think we've been floating a few ideas, but I haven't settled on anything yet.
Listen, if you guys have any suggestions, if you've listened to any of our stuff, listen to us talk on here. If you have some suggestion as far as a topic or an idea or a situation even that you would want us to discuss or talk about, it's really, you know, we're just exploring a couple things right now, but we're gonna try to have a little fun coming up. So I've been
Yeah.
enjoying these live streams. These
If
live
you got
streams have been a lot
any,
of fun.
if you got any, my friend wants to know stories, or my friend, you know what I'm saying, asking for a friend stories. Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you guys out. You know, we're like almost 11 minutes in. David, you got to hang around for the 10 minutes. So love you guys. Like I said, if you guys have something you want us to talk about, let us know. We're always game. We're looking at some new platforms to try and do stuff, so we're not always on Facebook because I'm really tired of Facebook. Nah. Later, guys. Later.